So what is it? Did you ever expect you would be back on Dallas?
Never. Who would have thought?
No one saw this coming. At 84, Linda Gray has finally revealed the brutal truth about what it really took to be Sue Ellen Ewing on Dallas. The sleepless nights, the endless 22-hour days, and the cruel reality that her male co-stars were raking in millions while she was left fighting just to be heard. And when she dared to ask for a chance to direct, they tried to destroy her. But that's only the beginning. The real drama on Dallas didn't happen on screen, it happened behind the scenes. And Linda's story is nothing short of shocking. Before she was TV royalty, Linda Gray was just a little girl growing up in Culver City, California, born on September 12, 1940. Her father was a watchmaker, a quiet man who worked with delicate precision. As a child, Linda watched him fix tiny gears with steady hands, never realizing those long afternoons at his shop were teaching her patience and focus, qualities she'd one day need to survive in Hollywood. Culver City was already buzzing with movie magic. Gone with the Wind, The Wizard of Oz. Linda didn't know it yet, but she was already living in the shadow of the stars. Her family didn't have much, but what they did have was hope. She attended Notre Dame Academy, a strict Catholic school where discipline ruled. Then, in 1955, everything changed. At 15, she stood on a school stage as Cinderella. The applause, the lights, the rush. She was hooked. One moment was all it took. But life had other plans first. She wasn't discovered on a stage or a movie set. Linda was standing at a bus stop in the early 60s when a talent scout spotted her. By 1963, she'd signed with Ford Models. Soon, her face was everywhere. Ads for Coca-Cola, Playtex bras, and even Japanese commercials. By the time she was 25, she was known as the Queen of Commercials, appearing in nearly 400 ads. But while the world saw the perfect smile, behind the scenes, Linda was struggling to be taken seriously. And then came The Graduate. Everyone knows that iconic poster. Dustin Hoffman staring, and a woman's leg stretched seductively in the foreground. For decades, people thought that leg belonged to Anne Bancroft, but in 2013, Linda Gray stunned the world by revealing it was hers. She was paid just $25 to pose, holding her leg in that position for hours. A photo shoot no one cared about at the time became one of the most famous images in movie history. Dustin Hoffman himself had no idea until 2016. But Linda wasn't done rewriting history. In 1977, she took on one of television's most daring roles, playing a transgender woman in Norman Lear's All That Glitters. She was hesitant, afraid, ready to walk away, until Lear introduced her to a trans woman who changed her mind. Linda spent weeks living as a man to understand the pain and the courage it took to live that life. The role was groundbreaking, but the world wasn't ready. The show was pulled after just 13 weeks. Still, Linda's performance touched lives. Letters from LGBTQ viewers poured in, thanking her for being their first representation on TV. It changed her forever. Then came Dallas. The role that would make her a household name almost slipped through her fingers. She wasn't even supposed to audition. Her agent sent her photo without telling her. When they called her in, she panicked and borrowed a southern accent from a woman she overheard at the grocery store that morning. That spur-of-the-moment decision landed her the role of Sue Ellen Ewing. But Sue Ellen was never supposed to be a star, just the quiet, suffering wife of J.R. Ewing. 5 episodes. That's all they promised. But Linda's raw, heartbreaking portrayal of an alcoholic trapped in a toxic marriage captivated audiences. Her character became the soul of Dallas, turning Sue Ellen from a background player into one of television's most complex women. She didn't just act the part, she lived it. For her drunk scenes, she stripped away the Hollywood glamour, cutting her makeup routine from 2 hours to just 20 minutes. It wasn't about looking good, it was about feeling real. And it was real. Too real at times. Long days turned into endless nights. The pressure was relentless. While Larry Hagman and Patrick Duffy were earning millions, Linda was working herself into a back brace. And when she had the nerve to ask for more, more respect, more pay, the chance to direct. She was met with silence, then sabotage. They tried to ruin her career, but she refused to back down. Her dedication didn't go unnoticed. Linda earned Emmy nominations, Golden Globe nods, and international awards. In Germany, she was honored with a Bambi. In Italy, she won the Il Gatto. For a role she was never supposed to play, she became the heart of a global phenomenon. Dallas wasn't just a TV show, it was a movement. In Romania, it was used as propaganda to highlight capitalism's evils. But it backfired. People saw Sue Ellen's world of luxury and power and wanted it for themselves. Some say Dallas helped spark the fall of communism. Linda Gray, unknowingly, became part of history. But the biggest twist? After 14 seasons on Dallas, Gray walked away with stories no one dared tell until now. Her truth is raw, her journey painful, and the darkest chapter? That's still to come. Because the real battle for Linda Gray didn't end with the final credits of Dallas. And what happened when she finally stood up to Hollywood's old boys club? Well, that's a story you won't believe. The world couldn't look away. At the height of its power, Dallas wasn't just a TV show, it was a cultural earthquake. When J.R. Ewing was gunned down in that infamous season finale in March 1980, it triggered an obsession that lasted months. The question, who shot J.R., echoed everywhere, from playgrounds to the halls of power. Even the Queen Mother asked about it, and President Jimmy Carter joked that knowing the answer could fund his campaign. But when 83 million Americans and over 350 million viewers worldwide tuned in that November to find out, it wasn't just a TV reveal, it was history. That moment rewrote television forever. Cliffhangers weren't a gimmick anymore. They became the formula for keeping viewers hooked, a blueprint still followed today. But behind the scenes, Linda Gray's world was a different story. While fans marveled at Sue Ellen's resilience, Gray was fighting a silent war. Grueling 16-hour days left her body battered, her feet crushed in high heels, her back screaming in pain, eventually forcing her into a back brace just to survive filming. Sleep was a luxury she couldn't afford, often running on 4 hours a night, memorizing 30 pages of dialogue with rewrites dropped in at the last minute. 1 week in Season 7, she filmed 18 heavy scenes in 5 days, including Sue Ellen's unforgettable drunk driving crash. But the battles on set went deeper than exhaustion. As Larry Hagman and Patrick Duffy stepped behind the camera to direct, Gray was repeatedly told no. Her fight for creative control exposed the cold truth. Hollywood wasn't ready to let women call the shots. When she pushed back in 1986, they fired her. It took Hagman threatening to quit to bring her back. And finally, Gray got her chance to direct, proving she was just as powerful off-camera. Yet, the fight didn't end there. After years of controlling marriage, she broke free from Ed Thrasher and rebuilt her life. But the deepest wound came in 2020, when her son Jeff died of leukemia. He was her best friend, gone at 56. Now, she uses that heartbreak to fuel her mission, fighting for cancer awareness, turning personal loss into a legacy of hope. Linda Gray's journey isn't just survival. It's a fierce, unstoppable reinvention. Wow, what a ride through Linda Gray's incredible journey. From breaking barriers on the set of Dallas, battling for creative control in a male-dominated industry, to surviving personal heartbreaks and emerging stronger. Linda's story is a masterclass in resilience. She wasn't just Sue Ellen, trapped in JR's shadow. She became a voice for women in Hollywood, fought for the roles she deserved, and turned her pain into purpose after the tragic loss of her son, Jeff. Whether she was directing episodes, taking Broadway by storm as Mrs. Robinson, or championing women's health as a UN Goodwill ambassador, Linda proved time and again that reinvention has no expiration date. And how wild is it that the legs on the graduate poster were hers all along? Talk about a full-circle moment. If you've been inspired by Linda's story, or just love hearing these untold Hollywood tales, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a comment below. I'd love to know, what was your favorite twist in Linda's journey?